Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about something fundamental, our relationship with this beautiful planet we call home. We're surrounded by this incredible natural abundance, right? But how do we actually see it? Is it just a warehouse of stuff for us to use? Or is it something more? We're going to explore that journey, from how a simple piece of nature becomes a vital resource, and how that transforms into a huge shared responsibility for all of us. So before we even start using words like resources, let's begin right here, with nature itself. Just look at this. It's the entire system, the air, the water, the forests, the mountains, all of it existing on its own terms, following its own rules, long before we came along. It's powerful, it's beautiful, and it really doesn't need us at all. And that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? At what exact moment does a river stop being just a river and become a water resource? Or when does a forest stop being just a forest and become timber? This transformation, this shift in our perspective, is at the very heart of everything we're going to discuss. So, to really understand this, here's our plan for today. First, we'll look at this spark. What actually defines a resource? Then we'll get into the blueprint, renewable versus non-renewable. After that, we'll explore the global game of how resources are spread out. We'll then look at the warning, which is so important, the cost of overuse. And finally, we'll end on a hopeful note with the choice we all have for a better future. Okay, let's begin with that first point, the spark. What is the magic ingredient that turns a part of nature into something we decide is a resource? Well, it's all about where the natural world and human society meet. You see, a piece of nature only becomes a resource when three key things happen. First, it has to be technologically accessible. Think about it. There might be oil miles under the deep ocean, but if we don't have the technology to get to it, it's not a resource, is it? It's just there. Second, it has to be economically feasible. If it costs more money to mine a mineral than the mineral is actually worth, well, nobody's going to mine it. And third, and this is a fascinating one, it has to be culturally acceptable. Imagine a forest that a community considers sacred. To them, those trees are not timber. They're to be protected. So it's this unique mix, technology, economics, and our own culture, that actually creates a resource. All right, moving on to our blueprint. Once we've identified something as a resource, maybe the most important question we can ask is, can we get more of it? Can it come back? This is all about understanding nature's amazing ability to heal and replenish itself. And this really boils down to two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have renewable resources. These are the ones that work with nature's cycles. The sun keeps shining, the rain keeps falling to fill the rivers, and forests can grow back. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. They only stay renewable if we use them wisely, if we respect nature's rhythm. On the other side, you have the non-renewables, things like coal, oil, and minerals. These were created over millions and millions of years. Once we dig them up and use them, that's it. They're gone, at least on any timescale that matters to us humans. And this image here shows the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got a flowing river. It's part of a cycle, constantly being refilled. That's your classic renewable resource. On the right, an oil rig. It's pulling something out of the earth that took an unimaginable amount of time to form, and it's not coming back. Two completely different stories, right? Okay, now let's zoom out a bit and look at the bigger picture, the global game. See, nature didn't really care about drawing country borders when it was handing out its gifts. And this simple fact that resources are not spread out evenly has literally shaped our history, our economies, and even our conflicts. And just take a look at this map of India to see what I mean. It shows so clearly how minerals like iron ore, coal, and bauxite are packed into certain regions. This isn't just a geological curiosity. This uneven distribution is the reason why industries develop in some places and not others, why jobs are created here, and why whole cities spring up there. It's a natural lottery, and it has huge consequences. But, having that winning lottery ticket isn't always a good thing. It's strange, but true. Economists even have a name for it, the natural resource curse. It's this paradox where countries that are rich in natural resources sometimes end up with slower economic growth. They might rely too much on that one thing and not develop other sectors. Now, India has largely managed to avoid this trap by doing something very smart, investing in industries that take those raw materials and turn them into more valuable, finished products. Now, we need to shift gears and talk about something very serious, the warning. What happens when our demand, our need, pushes a natural resource way past its breaking point? We're going to look at a real-world example of this, a case study that shows the true cost of overuse. Our story begins with a great promise, a huge success. Back in the 1960s, India faced the threat of famine. The answer was the Green Revolution. New types of crops that could produce much more food. But these crops were thirsty. They needed a lot of water. The solution was to pump groundwater from deep within the earth. And it worked. It was a triumph that helped feed a nation. But that success came with a hidden price tag. Take a close look at this map of Punjab, the heartland of the Green Revolution. All those areas in red and pink, that's where the groundwater levels have dropped dramatically, in some places by more than 30 meters. We started pulling water out so much faster than the monsoon rains could put it back in. The solution, over time, became the problem. And it all leads to this absolutely shocking number. Almost 80% of Punjab's entire area is now classified as overexploited. What that means in simple terms is that the bank account is being emptied. The water is being withdrawn far, far faster than nature can make deposits. The short-term goal of food security has unfortunately led to a long-term water crisis. Now, after hearing that, it's very easy to feel discouraged. But that is not where our story ends, because now we come to the most important part, the choice. We have a choice to find a different path, a path towards a regenerative future. This is about moving from being just consumers to being caretakers or stewards. This is the path we need to leave behind. This is what happens when we don't think about the consequences, when waste from our industries just overwhelms a river's natural ability to clean itself and support life. It's a very clear picture of unsustainable practice. But then there's this, the turnaround. The entire state of Sikkim made a bold choice. They decided to become 100% organic. And look at the results. It's not just about healthier soil. Biodiversity is thriving, tourists are flocking to see it, and farmers are actually earning more money. It's a fantastic example of what happens when we choose to work with nature, not against it. And this regenerative thinking applies to more than just farming. Look at how we can build our homes and cities. This is not about going backwards. It's about being smart, combining age-old wisdom with modern design. This absolutely stunning building in Oroville is made from compressed earth, from mud. It just proves that sustainable, traditional materials can create things that are beautiful, modern, and effective. And if you want to see what this regenerative future looks like at an incredible scale, here it is. This is a satellite view of the Badla Solar Park in Rajasthan, one of the largest in the entire world. This is more than just a power plant. It's a powerful symbol of a nation making a decisive choice to embrace clean, renewable energy for its future. It's a bold, inspiring step. So, in the end, this is not just about technology or economics. It's much deeper than that. It's about our philosophy. There's this ancient concept from the Bhagavad Gita, Loka Sangraha. It basically says that we must look beyond our own individual wants and act for the good of everyone, for the well-being of the whole world. It reminds us that our relationship with the planet's resources is not just about taking, it's about a shared responsibility. And that really leaves us with a final question to think about. Are we ready to make that choice? To act not just for ourselves, but for the good of all?